Mariners lose game 2 versus the Pirates in embarrassing fashion, 11-1 loss. I'm going to break it down today on this episode of Mariners Daily. Hi, everyone. My name is Sam Edwards. Thanks so much for being here on the show. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, freaking subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with your thoughts on what I covered today. We're talking about Bryan Woo on the road. We're giving a full game recap. And I got two teams that could be a possible seller, a possible trade partner with the freaking Seattle Mariners. So we'll see what's going on here. Uh, the M's lose game 2 pretty bad. I will say though, this Pirates offense can easily be underrated. It's one of the best in baseball right now. At this point in the season, they have a 107 team runs created plus, which is fourth in the majors. 404 runs scored for the Pirates, which is fourth in the majors, and their team OPS is 746, which is third in Major League Baseball. The top 3 OPS the Pirates have. So let's not discount it. I know they've talked about how good, Bryan Reynolds has been. We've seen him on the streak, but guys like Ryan O'Hearn freaking destroyed us last night. 3 doubles for O'Hearn. Andy Rodriguez has gotten it done versus us as well. Rough loss. Rough loss. No two ways around it. Very rough, but this Pirates offense should not be underestimated or discounted in any way. And they got to Bryan Woo in that 4th inning. Let's talk about Bryan Woo a little bit. The struggles on the road have me kind of befuddled. There was a moment in my research this morning. I thought I was going to be able to find the secret, find the thing, find the difference maker. And I may have found it, but it's not as obvious as I think I want it to be. You know, when you're like doing a deep analysis and you feel like you're uncovering something and then you find something that disproves what your original hypothesis was. Yeah, that's what kind of happened. So let's break down the start. First of all, 4 innings pitched, 6 hits given up, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He was cruising through the first 3 innings. Not many threats, getting out of jams, nickel and diming it, not getting hit too hard either. But that 4th inning hit like a freaking freight train, dude. Freight train. Overall, four-seamer did great. Four-seamer did fairly well. I'll say fairly well. It still got hit hard. 64% usage on the four-seamer. 64%. Yes, Bryan Woo leans on his four-seamer a lot, but my gosh, he had nothing else working in this game. Nothing. You got the sinker with a couple called strikes, but besides that, not much working. 64% usage, 15% higher than it normally is on an average start for Bryan Woo. He got 10 whiffs on the pitch, 8 called strikes. That is a 32.7 CSW percentage. He gave up 5 hits on the pitch. 5. 5 of the 6 hits he gave up were on his four-seamer, which if you throw a pitch 64% of the time, it's like, I get it. Majority of the hits you give up are going to be on that pitch, but like maybe a little bit less. Maybe a little bit less. Slider didn't do anything. Threw it 16% of the time, got 2 whiffs on the pitch. 3 balls in play, 3 outs. So soft contact at the bare minimum. Sinker, like I said, only threw it 11% of the time, which was 6% lower than the usual for Woo. Got 3 called strikes on the pitch, which is nice. But he's not getting whiffs on anything. Not getting whiffs on anything. Gave up 8 hard hit balls over these 4 innings pitched. That's a lot. 8 hard hits is a lot. He got hit. 5 of those were line drives or fly balls, most of them on four-seamers. The real conversation is why can't he perform on the road? What's going on here? At home, he has 45 innings pitched, a 31.5 K percentage, a 4.2 walk percentage, a 2 ERA, and a 1.90 FIP. So you know it's not freaking fake. On the road, however, he's got 48 innings pitched, a 19.1 K percentage. Not that much higher walk percentage, 5.3, but that K percentage is a big difference. He's not striking out that many people on the road. On the road. Sorry for the yawns. 322 BABIP, 55 left on base percentage. Those marks do spell that he is getting a little bit unlucky, especially that 55 left on base percentage. That's crazy low. 638 ERA on the road, 414 FIP tells probably a better story. I think Woo is going to be okay overall. I think those road stats do paint a picture that I think he is getting a little bit unlucky on the road. He is getting hit harder. The hard hit percentage goes from a 32% to a 37% on the road. So he is getting hit harder, where I think that BABIP could be a little bit more earned. That 55 left on base percentage should come down with enough sample size on the road. I know he will be worse on the road, but it should not be this drastic. It should not be a 2 ERA versus a 6 ERA. It should be more like a 2.5 ERA at home and maybe a 4 ERA on the road, maybe a 4.50 ERA on the road. Just better. It should be 2 runs less than 638, in my opinion. And I think the stats do back that up. K percentage is not terrible. 19% is not terrible, especially when you're only walking 5.3% of the guys. You just got to give up less hard contact. Less hard contact. And that's obvious. My thing was, at first, I thought, from my brief little scroll through and analyzing what are the differences between his home starts and his road starts. And immediately the thing that jumped out was that more often than not, he does not have either the sweeper or the slider working on the road. Not to say that he's not trying it, but he's not succeeding with it. His last great start, his last good start on the road was over a month ago, May 12th, versus the Astros in Houston. He pitched 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Great Woo start. Great Woo start. And what was the difference maker here? The four-seamer had a good game. The sweeper had a great game. 23% usage on the sweeper. 4 whiffs, 4 called strikes, a 33 CSW percentage. That's a great game for Bryan Woo's sweeper. It's a good game right there. And I don't see his slider or his sweeper really backing up his four-seamer very much on the road. And I think they made that point actually in the broadcast last night, which I do want to say hats off to them. He's gonna need one of those pitches. He's gonna need the slider or the sweeper. He uses one versus lefties, one versus righties most of the time. He's gonna need one of those pitches because the four-seamer is good, but it's not this good. It's not good enough to carry. Because it had a good start. 10 whiffs on the four-seamer. 8 called strikes, 32.7 CSW percentage, which doesn't sound that high. Like, Sam, calm down. It's 32.7 called strikes plus whiffs. But out of a 64% usage, we need to take into account the sample size. How often are you throwing the pitch? To have that percentage that high over 64% of the time, pretty good. Pretty freaking good. He just missed his spots a couple times. And he does have that kind of Kirby problem where he's almost too in the zone. Didn't know that was possible. Just too in the zone, really. But he needs that slider or the sweeper. He did, and the reason I say that hypothesis did kind of, not fully come to fruition is because one of his last starts on the road was versus the Tigers in Detroit. And he did have the slider and the sweeper doing good enough backup work, I would say. And it was the four-seamer that failed that time. So I would not say it's a universal thing. I would say one of those pitches tends to slip up for him. So, yeah. Hopefully he can figure it out, man. I don't know what the answer is. Just keep your eye on those off-speed pitches when he's on the road. And here's hoping he can turn it around because, gosh dang it, we need Brian Wu, man. We need him. Let's get to this game recap, the depressing game recap, the one that just sucks to go over. First inning looked good, man, and then it didn't. JP started the game off with a single again for the back-to-back day. Cal Raleigh comes up with a single himself, 103 miles per hour off the bat. J-Rod gets a single to score JP. It was 109 miles per hour off J-Rod's bat. Josh Naylor, who had 2 hits on the day, does not come through with 2 men on and no outs. Naylor strikes out. Randy, who just came off the IL, barely misses a home run. Just barely to right field. So close, but it's a foul ball. So then, freaking Ashcraft gets him with an up and in fastball for a strikeout. Canzone came off the IL. Encouraging to see. He had a classic Canzone fly out to center field to end the game. Not to end the game, but in the 9th inning. It is so freaking hard. But yeah, this time he flies out to leave the bases stranded. Base runner stranded. 2nd inning, Cole Young, the hometown hero of the previous game of game 1. He gets a double, 108 miles per hour off the bat. Cole Emerson pops out, and JP pops out to end the inning. 3rd inning, Josh Naylor gets a double. Nothing happens. They leave him stranded. Nothing happens. They're trying. They're trying. And they just can't do it. Their offense is not good enough, man. It is not good enough, and we need grades. Need a better bench, at the very least. 4th inning is when the floodgates open for the Pirates. Reynolds starts it off with a single. Nick Gonzalez grounds out to almost a double play. They can't quite finish it, so it's just a force out at second base. O'Hearn comes up, like I said. He was torturous, but this one was stupid. This was a stupid double down the left field line that plops right in front of Randy Arozarena. O'Hearn hit it at a blistering 78 miles an hour. 78 exit velocity, not very hard. Just ploops right in front of Randy. I don't get it. Just doesn't look like he was trying on the run. It just doesn't. I know everybody criticizes Randy for his defense, so I'm not trying to pile on here, but super frustrating. Super frustrating. And then the floodgates truly open. Enny Rodriguez comes up with a double, 102 miles per hour off the bat. Tyler Callahan gets a triple deep in the gap to right center field. Hit that 101 miles per hour. Jake Magnum singles, 103 miles per hour off the bat. They get Triolo. He strikes out. Esmerlin Valdez comes in for Spencer Horwitz, and he gets a single deep to center field. Should have been at least a double, but he hit it too hard, and I think he thought it was gone. He hit it 106 miles per hour, and luckily J-Rod did get the ball in quickly, and then Brandon Lau grounded out to end the inning, but the damage was done, and the Mariners never caught up. Wu gets pulled after the 4th inning, probably a smart move. Rucker comes in and handles the 5th and 6th innings, actually handles them fairly well, only gives up 2 hits, 1 hard hit ball, and 3 strikeouts for Michael Rucker. Good to see from him. Nick Davila was not as lucky, pitched the 7th inning, gave up 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, gave up 2 hard hit balls, which is not good, but I just don't think, I don't know. Yeah, he got roughed up, man. I mean, he got roughed up. It's just a bad inning. I think he's gonna be okay. Hoppy, however, it was a rough 8th inning for him. 3 hits, I think 4 hard hit balls against Hoppy. Not great, man. He can get hit hard. 2 earned runs total given up against Hoppy in the 8th inning to cap off this 11-1 win. Mariners offense needs the pitching to be perfect. I've talked about this before. The pitching was not perfect in this start, so therefore it just feels like we have no chance. What is this, 10 straight games of 3 earned runs or less? 3 runs or less from the Mariners? Not great, man. Not great. We gotta improve. We gotta freaking improve, and if we're gonna have a good trade deadline, we gotta target some sellers, target some teams that are gonna be selling, and I think the Mets and the Giants are gonna be sellers. And those teams have some guys. The Mets have already started. They just traded David Peterson to the Cubs. Now Peterson's not having the best season in the world, but it's definitely an unlucky season so far. He's pitched in 16 games so far, 8 games started, 60 innings pitched total, 19.7 K percentage, not very high, 9.4 walk percentage, a little high, 350 BABIP, whoa, a 60 left on base percentage, way too low, 51.1 ground ball percentage, decent, 609 ERA, 385 FIP. Makes more sense. Good for the Cubs. Mets are a serious trade option, I think. The Giants also, they've got Matt Chapman, who is getting paid a lot of money, which means that he wouldn't cost as much. It is hard for me to see the Mariners really taking on a whole lot of money as of right now, even though we are leading the division. It just feels like we are failing upwards right now. It's really hard to get excited, even though the pitching is still good. It's just hard to get excited. Giants have been reportedly moving towards selling at the deadline, but they do have no plans to trade Logan Webb, who would be their top option for sure. They've got a couple offensive options that I might break down over the next couple of days. Same thing with the Mets or a bullpen option as well. Those are the two biggest spots of need for the Mariners. So I would love to hear what you guys think. Who's a player that you would like me to cover, to deep dive on? A guy that you think could fit the Mariners mold, fill in that outfield, fill in where we need them. Right-handed bat, right-handed bat, right-handed bat. Got to get more right-handed. Have to. Have to. All right, guys. I appreciate you watching. Let's keep it going with this Mariners season. Hopefully, we can get this game 3 victory. I'll see you tomorrow with a full breakdown. Have a good one.